For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates. This is StratNews Global. I'm Amitabh Revi in Kabul. We have with us Khpolwak Sapai. He's the Director of TOLOnews. Mr. Sapai, thank you so much for giving us time.
Thank you for coming to TOLOnews.
Sapai Sahab, even behind us right now, TOLOnews is alive. Currently, what are the difficulties you face? What are the restrictions that you have to comply with?
The situation, of course, has been changed a lot than it was before 15, I guess, 2021, I mean. But we have to manage that because we think and we believe that we have to inform the public on all the incidents happening in the country, in all newsworthy things, and for that, it was, of course, not easy for us from two sides, like to manage the things. First, some new rules and regulation has been placed, which is meaning some new restriction on media. Let me call like this: we are face cover issues and the things mostly calling that not to be anything against Islam or against national values, or not to defame people, or not to report not to be based on allegation. All these things sound very nice apparently, but to modify it with details, the problem starting is very, very difficult. No, it's two general theorems, and I mean it can be anything. You can drag to any direction, and so that is the problem. I mean, the absence of a modified media law, which is very essential. If you're looking to have free media, then you have to provide law for that. At the time being, we don't have any media law in the country, and that is the big problem for us. Second, access to information is very limited, and even media is not allowed to cover the incident like bomb explosions or protests in the cities or killings and things like that. Media is restricted from access to information like that. So all these things making the situation very difficult for us to go ahead with that. But anyway, today's world is much different than it past. No, you have a digital media. You have smartphone in your pocket, and you can catch anything newsworthy. We are getting those information from our audience, from those who are looking to run the stories and things like that.
Like you said, so much has changed in over a year. Afghanistan's media was the most vibrant, I would say, in this region, even in comparison to a large neighbor like India.
Yeah.
That change, how have you, your organization, presenters, reporters been able to deal with it?
At the very beginning, it was a really very difficult, unique experience for me in my life. We lost more than 90% of our staff, our human resources at the very beginning, and within 10 to 15 days. All those were evacuated. I mean, all presenters, all producers, all reporters, and from the management level, I stood alone here. And I have had to keep the screen on. It was it turned to a matter of honor for me, and a matter of prestige for me and for the company. And so we were trying, I was for around 45 days, I was just concentrated on my channel, my work, without any weekend unrest. And permanently, I was just sometime was very quickly go to home and come back and was. We recruited new staff, new people, and we have had to train at the same time them just to working. And but we fortunately we succeeded and we kept the channel, and it didn't turn to dark. It was like some hard work when I'm thinking of that. It's very difficult for me myself to believe that I could manage things like that, but fortunately we did. And it's hard still. We are losing people. Many of my colleagues are still looking to leave the country. They're worried. It's like personal issues. They're making their decisions, and we cannot stop them, and we will not stop them because it's the decision for them. They know better regarding their future and their life.
Sapai Sahib, I remember, and the whole world remembers those initial pictures soon after the Taliban seized power again, when the first broadcast was made and the Taliban leader called you up, I think, and walked in the studio.
That was, that was the second day.
A woman
the
presented
Taliban, the Taliban got to the city. And I mean, the first day it's like 15 August, because the Taliban get in the city midnight, actually, practically. And that day, early in the morning, I learned that we do not have any presenter in the channel just to run the show, the live show. And you know, we are a news channel, and we are starting with live and ending daily broadcasting with live shows. And so I hadn't presented that day. And so I was very worried of that. I started in the morning, I started broadcasting of the materials of the yesterday, the day before. And then I called that woman presenter, her name was Binafsha Arghan. And she agreed, and I sent the vehicle to her, and she came to the office. And as we started live broadcasting, I've got a call from a Talib who was interested to come and to take part in the show and to address the public, the people.
Malvi Hamad?
He came to the studio, and Hamad, and this was like the first ever live show of in Afghanistan. I mean, the live show maybe in the world of a Talib with a female presenter on the screen. So it was a good experience, and just within an hour, it turned to a big news in the worldwide, and still it's very famous. And foreign media outlets mostly are looking for that, footage, and the story was like that. But that time, the Taliban were not really like strict to take part in shows like that, with no mask, no things. For some months, we were like that. They were happy, no critics, no problem. But later on, things changed, and we got another from the Ministry of Vice and Virtue, and they were seriously asking the female presenter to cover the faces. It was also a unique experience of my life, which made me very depressed and unhappy.
That itself, what you're talking about, the changes that the Ministry of Vice and Virtue imposed, especially on women presenters to wear a mask. Again, there was a campaign that came online on social media for women presenters because they had to wear masks, and your male presenters or reporters. And it wasn't just Afghanistan, Sapai Sahib. In India, in other places, all over the social media, males were putting on masks in support of
support of Afghan women journalists. Yeah, that was that morning. No, a day ahead. It was my weekend. I was at home, and it was like a brief breakfast at time. My kids, my wife we were sitting to have our breakfast, and suddenly I got a call from the spokesperson for the Ministry of Vice and Virtue, and he treated me, to be honest, he treated me and asked that I had to stop the appearance of women presenters without mask in the channel. If I do not stop, then it will have like very harsh consequences. Just think that the result will be not good for me. So I was told that there isn't any other choice except to remove the female presenter from the screen, or they to wear the mask. So these two options was it was forcefully, and so the next morning I came to the office. I was just thinking of that. And that morning, there was a media team from AP. I mean, like AP people were here. They were doing a report, and we were looking to start from our morning meeting. We have every day in the morning we have like a morning meeting for the daily agenda. We're assigning reporters to their stories. And when I saw them, I was like, in my mind, I was just concentrating on this issue, the mask covering issue, and I was not convinced to accept things like that. So I asked them suddenly. It was like very suddenly, and I asked them just to stop for a while, and they were wondering why they should be stopped, but they stopped. And I asked my colleagues to look for black masks if they have here in the office somewhere. But my colleagues just run and they look for that. And within 5 minutes, they came back with around 13 black masks. I have kept of that one in my desk just as like a
reminder.
Yeah. And we... I put it on the table and told my male colleagues, that it's anyone looked at it's voluntarily, not forcefully. I took one in word and I told them that if you want, as like solidarity with our family presenter, if you want it. So all they covered their faces, and then I put a hashtag on Twitter that's Free Her Face Afghan Woman, which, as you mentioned, which turned a big news around the world and got a lot of support. And the story was like that.
So what you're saying, Sapai Sahib, is that even now your women presenters have a choice.
The choice is for them, they have choice. The decision was made at the end by themselves.
Yeah.
We of course, we shared the order from the Ministry of Vice to them, every one of them. And then at the beginning, there was like we had a 2-3 session on that among the management of movie. I mean, I proposed at the very beginning that let's to shut down the channel. This was my own, but I was alone. My proposal didn't get any support. The others came with a little bit different logic. They were saying, why like the men should take decision for women? Leave the decision to them. The logic was strong, you know. And we told our women journalists colleagues that if they are not ready to come with the mask on the screen, then we will provide them another engagement or job behind the screen, and their job will be secure, and their salary income will be secure, anything. But if they want to come to the screen, then they have to wear the mask. It's like something forced, not by choice. So they have had a big meeting among themselves, and finally they decided that they will prefer to keep their voice on the screen rather to leave the screen. So they wear the mask, and the story was like that.
And as you said, things have changed since 15th of August. Initially, there seemed to be some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. It seemed to have gone downhill in terms of restrictions or limits.
It's very difficult to.
How do you see the future?
The future is difficult. It's for me. Now, not only for me, it's for nearly for anyone. It's very difficult to estimate or to predict what will happen tomorrow, what will happen months later or a year later. But I hope the things to get better, because without having free media in today's world doesn't mean. It's very important for the government, for the take care government as well. It's like a matter of prestige for the whole country, and it gives credit to the take care government. I know many of officials who are seriously supporting free media, but there are problems as well, some existing, and some of especially the low and mid-level Taliban fighters, they're still looking to us like we are a stranger for them, or many of them that think that they've conquered the whole country and they're defeated America. So the free media as well doesn't mean so they are looking like it to be their property, which is not working. I mean, and so I hope that things to get better, but it will take time, not soon, I think.
Sapai Sahab, thank you so much for your time. More strength to you, your team at Tolo, to all Afghan journalists, and to all Afghans.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
The pleasure was all ours. And to our viewers, do share your feedback about what you think about this interview and all our other coverage in Afghanistan. For StratNews Global, this is Amitabh Revi with Rohit Pandita.